Welcome back to today's episode. Something pretty big has just happened in the world of robotics, and it comes straight from Tesla. They finally pulled the curtain back on the latest version of Optimus, and many are convinced this is the Tesla Bot Gen 3 that Elon Musk has been hinting at for quite some time. Naturally, everyone's eyes immediately locked onto one feature in particular, its hands. And let's be honest, these aren't just any robot hands. They look shockingly close to human hands, more realistic and refined than anything we've seen before. When you first see them, you can't help but think back to Elon's earlier promises about Optimus one day being able to do incredibly delicate tasks, like threading a needle or even playing the piano. For the first time, that kind of future feels within reach. But the upgrades don't stop at the hands. Tesla has also introduced Grok Voice to this new version, meaning the robot can now hold conversations in a way that feels far more natural than before. That in itself is a milestone because we've seen plenty of humanoid robots that can move their arms or shuffle forward, but very few that can actually talk to people in a convincing way. Of course, as exciting as this sounds, not everyone is thrilled. News quickly spread about the rumored $200,000 price tag, and let's just say the reaction was intense. Many fans and potential buyers were floored by that number. Honestly, even we were a bit shocked when we first heard it. So now we're left with the $1 million question, or maybe the $200,000 question. Are these upgrades really worth it? Is Tesla Bot Gen 3 the game-changing robot people were hoping for? Or is it simply an overhyped refresh that doesn't quite live up to the buzz? And maybe the bigger question, how does it really compare to the earlier versions? Today, we're going to dig deep and try to make sense of it all. During Tesla's most recent earnings call, Elon Musk revealed that this latest version of Optimus is expected to roll out later this year. He described it as an extraordinary design that's optimized for mass production. What he didn't explain in detail, however, was exactly how it would set itself apart from the Gen 2 model that we've already seen in action. That lack of clarity left a lot of speculation swirling around. And just recently, when Salesforce's Mark Benioff paid a visit to Tesla, we finally got our closest look yet at this so-called Optimus Gen 3. The reveal was both exciting and puzzling, because there's a lot here that demands a closer look. At first glance, the design doesn't exactly scream revolutionary. Unlike the massive leaps forward some people were expecting, the most noticeable updates are the new pair of hands and a new paint finish. That's about it. And to be honest, the paint job isn't even brand new. We've actually seen a nearly identical color scheme before, back when Kim Kardashian showcased a Tesla bot. That makes it harder to call this a completely fresh redesign. In fact, it raises the uncomfortable question, is this truly Gen 3, or are we just looking at what you might call Gen 2.5? If all we're getting is refined hands and a cosmetic refresh, then maybe Elon Musk's hype has gotten a little ahead of reality. That being said, let's not downplay the importance of what has changed, because the hands alone could be worth the attention they're getting. Elon has made it clear again and again that he sees hands as the very essence of human progress. In his words, millions of years of evolution shaped the human hand into the ultimate tool, the thing that allowed intelligence to build, create, and transform the world around us. That's why Tesla hasn't wasted time trying to show off robots that can dance on stage or do backflips like other companies have. Instead, they focus much of their engineering power, more than half, in fact, on perfecting something far more practical, the hands. And Elon has been consistent on this point. He said multiple times, no fewer than 5 times in fact, that the Tesla bot would eventually feature hands with 22 degrees of freedom. To put that into perspective, that would bring the robot just 5 degrees short of matching the flexibility of a real human hand. Looking at the new design, you can immediately tell that this version of Optimus is closer to that goal than ever. The hands are far more polished, sleek, and realistic compared to the earlier prototypes. Gone are the exposed joints, messy wires, and clunky actuators. What you see now looks uncannily like a real human hand, complete with smooth curves and lifelike proportions. Of course, this may not even be the final version. It's very possible Elon is holding back the true showstopper for later this year at Tesla's shareholder meeting. It wouldn't be the first time Tesla teased a partial reveal only to unleash the full surprise later. In many ways, This reveal feels more like a statement of intent, a way of saying, look, nobody can do what we're doing, rather than a full product launch. That strategy makes sense when you remember that a former Tesla employee once stole designs for the robot's hands and went on to start their own company. Keeping things tightly under wraps while still flexing their engineering muscles is probably a smart move. Even in this form, though, the hands already prove themselves. Water resistance appears to have improved significantly, and with every step forward in refinement, the list of possible tasks Optimus can handle just keeps growing. Think back to what it could already do in an earlier design. Folding clothes, watering plants, holding an egg without breaking it, assembling delicate electronics, and carrying battery trays. That was all possible with just 11 degrees of freedom in the hands. So now imagine doubling that, moving toward 22. Suddenly, the idea of Optimus playing piano doesn't seem all that far-fetched. There's even more evidence to back this up. Tesla once released a demo of the robot catching a tennis ball. To most people, that might look like a simple parlor trick. But from an engineering standpoint, it's nothing short of extraordinary. Catching a fast-moving ball requires impeccable coordination between tactile sensors, elastic cable systems, and AI-driven predictions of motion. The fact that Optimus pulled it off shows that Tesla has already cracked some of the hardest challenges in robotic dexterity. Elon has said before that half of Optimus' complexity lives in its hands. And when you see things like this, you realize he wasn't exaggerating. The secret lies in Tesla's approach to the design. Most robotic hands pack tiny motors into each finger, which makes them heavy, clumsy, and unnatural. Tesla went in a completely different direction. Instead of stuffing motors in the fingers, they placed all the actuators in the forearm. From there, a clever system of elastic cables, designed to mimic human tendons, transmits the force that moves the fingers. This not only makes the hand lighter and more compact, but also far more efficient. And because each of those cables is equipped with force sensors, the robot doesn't just move blindly. It can feel. It can sense how hard or soft an object is, and it can adjust its grip accordingly. That's why Optimus can tighten a screw with delicate precision, but also cradle an egg without cracking the shell. This level of nuance is what truly separates Tesla from the rest of the field.